But we begin with a chilling twist in the disappearance of a Penfield father of 7 whom police now believe was murdered and had acid poured on his body. His 2 sons and estranged wife were arrested and charged with evidence tampering.
Good evening. Police say the pieces are finally starting to fit.
But this evolving case is still shrouded in mystery over Craig Rideout's death. No murder charge has been filed, but police say that's expected to change.
13 WAM's Amy Hudak live now from the county jail downtown, where those 2 sons are locked up. Amy?
That's right. Craig Rideout's 2 sons, Colin and Alex, are being held here at the Monroe County Jail tonight. Their mother, Laura Rideout, posted bail earlier in the day. Deputies in both Monroe and Yates County say they are closer to filing murder charges. Against who? We still don't know. Laura Rideout and her 2 sons, Alex and Colin, were charged following the death of their estranged husband and father, Craig Rideout. A body bloodied and strangled found in Yates County early Wednesday morning was determined to be that of missing 50-year-old Penfield man, Craig Rideout.
We believe that the murder took place sometime in the evening there, overnight or early morning. And obviously the body, according to our witnesses, was being placed in our county around 5 a.m. That morning.
3 crime scenes, one at Craig Rideout's Penfield apartment, where deputies say Laura Rideout disposed of evidence using cleaning products to get rid of blood. Another in Yates County, where Craig Rideout's body covered in chemicals was dumped, only to be found by a young boy living in the area. And yet another at Mendon Ponds Park, where a car was towed away and deputies say evidence was collected that linked that scene with Yates County. Margot Soisa lives across the street from Craig Rideout's apartment. She had to tell her 11-year-old daughter her neighbor was murdered.
We hear about these stories all the time, and it's just, I guess, was kind of really close to home this time.
She pointed to family struggles, including a lengthy letter posted by Alex Rideout on Facebook the night his father went missing, the same night deputies say he was murdered.
You don't do that unprovoked. You have to get to a desperate place to do something like that.
What she says is most upsetting.
We might not ever hear his side of the story.
Tonight, a key piece of evidence is still missing, and that is Craig Rideout's car. Deputies say there is some indication that that car at some point might have been at the crime scene in Yates County, where his body was discovered. Live in Rochester, Amy Hudak, 13 WAM News.
Now do another current mystery. Investigators now confirming a 50-year-old Penfield man was killed in the basement of his townhome. Tonight, friends tell Patrice Walsh Craig Rideout was devastated by his divorce, and the 2 were battling for custody of their children.
Don, friends say Craig Rideout didn't fear for his life, but they knew he was in trouble when he vanished without telling anyone. Friends say Craig Rideout was blindsided by the divorce and devastated by the custody battle, but would never have just taken off.
And so I immediately thought something happened. And then I thought it must be something toward like this, so something with having to do with the divorce.
Rideout's body was found Wednesday morning, dumped in a field in Yates County. Craig Rideout's estranged wife and 2 sons are charged with tampering with evidence. Investigators and prosecutors are still working to file murder charges. Ted Jasnewski knew Rideout for 10 years.
Right now it's hard because everything is so raw. He was a dear friend. He had a wicked sense of humor.
He helped Rideout move out of the house after his divorce and into the townhome where Rideout was murdered.
Craig talked about the divorce and he talked about this situation, and I saw the toll that it was taking on him. And most of all, he saw the way that it was affecting the children. And he kept saying, I want my kids to have a normal childhood. And that's been taken away from them now forever.
David Higbee has known Craig Rideout for decades. He believes the killers carefully planned this, but then panicked.
Were you ever worried for his safety?
Actually, no. I never thought things would come to this pitch. No. Or otherwise I would have warned him. No.
Now, investigators also confirm Rideout's estranged wife, Laura, was planning to take the couple's children and move with her current boyfriend to North Carolina. Laura and 2 of the couple's sons are now free on bail.
Is this Diet Coke found in the basement of a man who was killed and disfigured the evidence that might tie his estranged wife to that crime? That photo And this one showing Laura Rideout entering Walmart with her boyfriend. Both part of new evidence that suggests she is suspected not only of tampering with evidence, but of the murder of Craig Rideout. Jane Flash joining us now to tell us that she is under a court order now to provide a DNA sample. Jane?
Well, Don, we know from this witness statement that Laura Rideout was at the victim's townhouse. Now we learn her fingerprint was found among garbage bags, cleaning supplies, blood stains, and that Diet Coke containing someone's DNA. When Laura Rideout hastily left the townhouse of her estranged husband July 19th, a witness says she carried 2 sizes of plastic garbage bags. After executing a search warrant, this is what police found in the basement: 2 black plastic bags filled with bloody clothing and some cleaning supplies. Crime lab tests confirm Craig Rideout's blood was found on wooden shelving, 2 storage bins, and a container of disinfectant wipes. According to court papers, Laura Rideout's fingerprint was also on that container. The papers indicate Rideout was strangled by a cord wrapped completely around his neck. His body discovered in a Yates County field, wrapped in a tarp and tied with bungee cords. His face disfigured by some type of acid or corrosive material. Prosecutors say all of that is consistent with a list of items purchased at the Hudson Avenue Walmart less than 8 hours before the body was found. It includes a 24-foot tarp, 3 bottles of drain cleaner, bungee cords, and bug repellent. The purchase was made by Laura Rideout and her boyfriend Paul Tucci. Also purchased that night a Coke. Police now want to know if it's the same bottle found in the basement and if the woman's DNA already located on it is a match to Laura Rideout. Now, Judge Christopher Ciaccio said there was sufficient probable cause that Laura Rideout, quote, has committed the crimes charged. He ordered her to provide a DNA cheek swab. 22-year-old Colin and 19-year-old Alexander Rideout are also accused of trying to dump a bag with gloves and drain cleaner in Mendon Ponds. These new court papers do not appear to implicate them any further. Don?
More charges today in the murder case involving a Penfield man, this time the boyfriend of the victim's estranged wife. Good evening. Paul Tucci is charged with evidence tampering in the death of Craig Rideout, whose body was found in a Yates County cornfield back in July. His estranged wife, Laura, and 2 sons are already being charged with evidence tampering, the only charges so far in this case. Patrice Walsh live in Penfield now, where Tucci was arraigned this afternoon. Patrice?
And Don, just minutes ago, the judge here in Penfield Town Court gave us a copy of the criminal complaint. It alleges that Tucci is an accomplice who tried to cover up evidence from Rideout's murder scene. Our cameras were in Penfield Town Court as Paul Tucci pleaded not guilty to tampering charges. Prosecutors say he's charged as an accomplice, along with his girlfriend, Laura Rideout, and Rideout's 2 sons. All are accused of hiding or trying to destroy evidence used to clean up Craig Rideout's murder.
In the felony complaint, it does make reference to a purchase that was made, a purchase of bungee cord and tarps and sulfuric acid in the form of a drain cleaner.
Tucci and Laura Rideout are also seen on this surveillance video, leaving a Hudson Avenue Walmart the night before Craig Rideout's body was found. They're accused of buying items used to cover up Rideout's crime scene.
There's been some results of laboratory results, and as those things happen, then we'll proceed with charges.
After prosecutors said they feared Tucci might flee, the judge ordered him not to leave the county once he makes bail. He was then taken into custody. His attorney telling us Tucci isn't going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. He's got a house, he's got family. He'll be here. He came back. He came back of his own accord.
And we also learned in court that other evidence, including more bungee cords, as well as victim Craig Rideout's car remote, were found in the home that Rideout and Tucci share. That was evidence also found in the court papers. Tucci is expected to make bail sometime today, according to his attorney, but again, is not allowed to leave the area. Reporting live in Penfield, Patrice Walsh, 13 WHAM News.
Family and friends tonight coming to grips with a bombshell accusation that Penfield's Craig Rideout may have been killed by his 2 sons, estranged wife, and her boyfriend.
it's a step forward. Things are not just hanging in limbo.
Today, we learned a grand jury indicted all 4 suspects on second-degree murder charges.
The charges come 5 months after Craig Rideout's death. Both the victim's best friend and other members of his family are reacting to this news tonight. New at 11, we bring in 13 Wham's Justin Carter, who has reaction from loved ones.
Jenny, Don, as painful as this was to Craig Rideout's family of origin, they won't be sleeping until sentencing day. Today, they told us murder charges are a step forward.
It's been 5 months since David Higbee lost his best friend, Craig Rideout. He wasn't surprised when Rideout's sons, Alex and Colin, estranged wife Laura, and her boyfriend, Paul Tucci, were all indicted Friday on second-degree murder charges.
There's an initial shock on any type of crime like this. It's just unbelievable.
Higbee says it's all slowly starting to make sense from the outside looking in. As he says, Laura and Craig Rideout were in the midst of splitting.
There was a divorce, and that's not an uncommon thing in our day and age, but this was particularly acrimonious. And I think, based on the personalities involved, I suppose much of that will come out in the trial.
Court papers revealed back then that Craig Rideout was strangled by a cord in the basement of his Penfield home before he was found in Yates County. His sons accused of dumping cleaning supplies in Mendon Ponds Park days later, and Laura Rideout and Tucci seen on surveillance in Walmart buying supplies possibly linked to the murder. The Rideout family releasing a statement tonight saying, quote, "This is only the beginning of what will be, yet again, a difficult time. Please allow us to continue to mourn our great loss." Higbee says he looks forward to what plays out in court.
That's the outworking of some terrible narrative in somebody's mind. I hope that the individuals involved will resolve this in their own hearts as well.
We stopped by Laura Rideout and Paul Tucci's home today. Paul did decline to comment when he answered the door. The lawyer representing Laura says he'll defer commenting until the 4 are arraigned next week. In the newsroom, I'm Justin Carter.